going to do is bring you a book that looks just like this right here. And what this book is going to be is pictures of the plants that we're going to use in your design. So if you take a look here, we have a hydrangea that we'd be using, and then the design this book is for has a dry stream bed. So here's a sample of the dry stream bed. Okay. Hi, I'm John Holden of Designs Unlimited in Newtown, Connecticut, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about landscape design. Now, later in this video I'm going to be showing you some sample designs we've done, but first, there's a few things I'd like to discuss. Putting together a landscape requires a lot of knowledge. Knowledge about local soils, knowledge about the plants that are going to grow in the area, and putting all the different components together to get you the best design. Well, the most important thing you can do regarding your landscape design is to take the time to discuss what it is you're looking to do. Everything in the design revolves around you. So the more time you put in on the front end, letting me know what you want to do with the space, the better the design is going to be. The first step of a landscape design is what we call the initial consultation. What this is a meeting where we'll all get together and discuss what you actually want to do with your space. Now this meeting will take anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. After the initial consultation, I will ask you to okay a design agreement. What a design agreement does is it states the exact areas we're going to landscape and the fees involved for the landscape. After you approve the design agreement, I'll come back to your house and I'll spend anywhere from 1 to 2 hours measuring the site, taking some pictures of the site, walking around the site, just doing my best to get a feel for the site. I usually end up doing most of the design work physically on the site. So once I leave your house that day, I pretty much do know what I'm going to be doing. Then I go back to the office and draft it out and make sure that the design we've come up with is something that you can understand and enjoy. The next step of your design is going to be what's called the design presentation. Now at the design presentation, we would meet with you and physically show you the design. Now what we're going to do is bring you a book that looks just like this right here, and what this book is going to be is pictures of the plants that we're going to use in your design. So if you take a look here, we have a hydrangea that we'd be using, and then the design this book is for has a dry stream bed, so here's a sample of the dry stream bed. Okay, and then on the other page, this is a photo of a plant called a dwarf fothergilla, and here is a hydrangea called Annabelle. So in this book, you're going to have pictures of most of the plants in the design, so you get a better feel for it. And then at the end of the book, we will actually give you a quote to install the design. Designs Unlimited is what's known as a design build contractor. We will make a landscape design for you and then go ahead and install it as well. In the next sequence, we're going to go ahead and show you some landscape designs, give you a feel for what our designs look like, and also give you some tips on reading and understanding the design. What we're going to do today is start with the basics and then move up from there. Now what you see in front of you is a fairly modest woodland planting that my clients requested I design to screen out their neighbors behind and also add some interest on the edge of their driveway coming through here. When you look at a design, if you look at the weight of the line, that is usually going to give you a good clue of what you're looking at. The heavier the line, the more permanent the structure. So here you have a very heavy line, and this would signify the edge of the driveway. This is a turnaround. You'll often see a heavy line like this of this weight to signify the foundation of a house, perhaps a patio or a sidewalk, or even a deck. You'll also notice there's a very heavy line on these large boulders which hold up the driveway because the grade does drop down a bit. Now as you look at the back of this design, there's a row of Canadian hemlocks which, judging by the size of the symbol, are a fairly large shrub, and Canadian hemlocks are evergreen, needle-leafed evergreens. So you'll notice that the design has a very jagged look to them. The symbol will give you a clue as to what type of plant you're looking at. Now in front we have some viburnums, which are also a fairly large shrub. However, they are deciduous, so the symbol for these viburnums is going to be a little softer. We also have a grouping of oak leaf hydrangeas, another deciduous shrub, softer symbol as well. Now on the left side of the design here, what I've done is made two big circles. Big circles are usually used for your ground cover type shrubs, something under 3 feet tall, and this would signify a grouping of anywhere from 5 or more shrubs. So here we've got some Fothergilla and some Clethra planted in this design. We have one more grouping of shrubs, which is an assorted grouping of woodland perennials, which I've used a different symbol and some lines to signify. Now running through the front of the design is a dry stream bed. There's a pipe letting some water out underneath the drive here, so we have this nice dry stream bed, which as you look at the symbols you can see they look just like rocks, to catch that water, carry it through the design and down to the storm drain. And then finally we have some boulders in the front of the design to add interest. Now, this design is for a couple who asked us to design some plantings around their house. As you look at the picture, this is your house right here. This is a 2-car driveway. Your road is right here. Your mailbox is right there. You've got a small patio off the back of the house here. And here is a front walkway made out of bluestone we designed. And there's your front patio. As you take a look, the symbols are a little bit smaller, but it's the same idea. You've got the very heavy line around the house, a lighter line around the walkway, and then lighter lines around the edge of the beds. We have some evergreen rhododendrons at the back here. We have a large dogwood tree, a larger symbol, a ground cover of some spirea around that dogwood. Same idea, just a different scale, a little bit more going on. Now our designs are going to go ahead and move up in complexity a little bit. What you're looking at is a backyard landscape our crews designed and installed over 6 years ago. Right here, this is your house. There's a deck coming off the back of the house. It's about 5 or 6 feet off the ground, and then you come down a set of steps to the patio right here, which is a bluestone patio. And then there are 2 other sets of steps moving down to the grade down below. This would be the driveway of the house, and there's 2 garages over here. Our clients had a wall installed around the back of the landscape. This wall ranges anywhere from about 3 foot tall at this point to about 8 foot tall at the back. And then what we did is go ahead and design a nice landscape for them to enjoy in the summer. So we have a weeping Norway spruce, which is a needle-leafed evergreen, as a specimen. We have many trees and shrubs through here. We have a stepping stone pathway. We have a little tongue of grass that comes through the landscape. There are some arborvitae we planted on the edge of the planting to screen out the neighbors. If you break it down piece by piece, you can get a very good feel for what you're looking at through the design, and it also helps me as a designer to visualize what I'm designing. Now, this landscape is for the foundation planting of a larger home where they have a U-shaped driveway here, and they also have their garages on the left side of the house. So here we have the same mix of different symbols. This would be the foundation of the house. Here we have a retaining wall with some steps. Here we have the edge of the driveway. And then there's a bluestone walkway leading up to the front of the house. We have an evergreen shrub, needle-leafed evergreen here, with a more jagged edge to it. A ground cover around a Japanese maple in the middle here. And then we have another blue spruce on the other side, which is a lower mound shape. Now, if you're more of a visual type person and things are a little easier to understand with some color involved, we certainly can also add some color to the design to help you understand. What this will do is it'll give you a better contrast as far as the gray of the driveway and the green of the grass. And it'll also help you to understand the colors of the plants. Here we have a red-leafed maple, so we colored it red. Here we have a hoopseye blue spruce colored blue. We have some boxwood at the back of the planting. Those are going to be green. And then we also have Olga rhododendrons, which have a very nice pink flower. Those are colored pink. There's a famous story about the artist Pablo Picasso that goes something like this. One day, Picasso was in a park, sketching, when a woman spotted the famous artist. She quickly ran up to him and asked if he would draw a picture of her. He said he gladly would, and grabbed his paper and his pencil and made one bold stroke. When he showed it to the woman, she was amazed at how wonderful this picture was. She said it captured her very essence. And then she asked how much she could give Picasso to compensate him for this beautiful picture. Picasso very calmly responded, $5,000. When the woman got up off the ground, she asked, "How can you charge me $5,000 for this picture? It only took you a few moments to draw." Picasso very calmly explained that it took him his entire life to get where he was, to draw that bold stroke. Now, while our designs at Land Designs Unlimited may not cost $5,000, we do charge for designs. I have been designing landscapes for over 20 years. I have explored many different types of plants to use in your landscape. I've gone to many seminars. I assure you that any time and money you spend with me will save you down the road. Thank you for watching our video today about landscape design. If you live in the Newtown area and would like a landscape design or would like some landscape installation, please give us a call.